Did you know it's possible to transform your entire reality without changing a single thing around you? It may sound crazy, but what I'm about to share might challenge everything you've learned about success, money, and your own life. Listen carefully. You are not a body that possesses energy. You are energy expressed as a body. Everything in the universe vibrates, including your thoughts. But here's the most powerful part. The frequency you emit shapes what you attract. If you learn to raise this frequency, you will start to draw in more wealth, better health, and greater opportunities, effortlessly. Let's explore how to do this in practice, with truths that will shake you deeply. Have you ever stopped to consider that nothing inside your body ever truly stands still? Not a thing, not even now as you listen to me. You are a mass of energy vibrating so fast it seems still to your eyes. But that is just a trick of the senses. If we could see beyond what the eyes reveal, we'd witness something entirely different. A luminous, radiant form, constantly in motion. That is what you truly are. And this vibration you emit, even without realizing it, is building your reality. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you vibrate. This is why so many people fail despite their efforts. It's not about working harder. It's about vibrating differently. Most people are trapped on a low frequency fed by fear, scarcity, guilt, and doubt. And the strangest part, they don't even notice. They believe they're being rational, realistic. But in truth, they are tuned to failure, to survival. And survival is not living. How many times have you wondered, why does my life feel stuck? Why do I keep attracting the same problems? Am I doing something wrong? These questions echo a mind disconnected from your true nature, because your deepest essence is abundance, expansion, and creation. When I was lost, directionless, uneducated, and buried in bills, I had no idea what frequency meant. I only knew I was sinking. I worked in factories, gas stations, changed tires, cleaned floors. I woke up tired and went to bed tired, thinking that was all life had to offer me. But one day, a man named Ray Stanford handed me a book. That book became a key. It showed me that my reality was not a sentence, but an unconscious choice. And if I wanted to change what I saw outside, I had to change what I felt inside. That's when I realized I was vibrating scarcity. Every thought I nurtured, every emotion I held, reinforced what I wanted to escape. Then came the shock. I was the magnet, the creator, and the limit. But here is a detail most overlook. Changing your frequency is not just thinking positively. It's about aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions in a new direction. Even when everything around you says otherwise. Even when there is no proof, no signs. Because frequency does not shift when circumstances improve. It improves when you adjust yourself. Science shows emotions like gratitude, love, and enthusiasm don't just feel good. They change your electromagnetic field. They affect your health, perception, and decision-making ability. The HeartMath Institute proved that the human heart emits a magnetic field that changes with emotional states and influences the environment. Now think about this. If a simple emotional state can alter the field you emit, what do you suppose happens when you spend days, months, or years feeding frustration, fear, anger, or doubt? The answer lies in your life today. But here's the turning point. You can change this frequency right now. You can stop reacting to life and start creating. It doesn't matter where you are, how much money you have in the bank, or what you've been told. Your vibration is yours to command, and you can raise it. How? By becoming aware of it first. Notice, how do you feel when you wake up? What is the first thought that crosses your mind? Take a deep breath. Do you begin your day feeling grateful, or do you start it on autopilot, weighed down by bills, problems, and responsibilities? This initial mindset sets the frequency for your entire day, and your day is the building block shaping your life. So start simple. Today, instead of rushing out of bed, pause, take a breath, place one hand on your chest and the other on your head, and say aloud, I am energy, I am expansion, I am a creator. This might seem like a small act, but this is exactly how change begins. Gradually, like tuning an old radio dial, you move away from the static of scarcity and tune into the frequency of abundance. Not because the world around you has changed, but because you have switched stations. And that is precisely where the magic starts. You are exactly where you are today, due to the frequency you maintain. That is reality. And most importantly, there is a place you want to be. A place already formed, vibrating, but you haven't accessed it yet because your frequency does not match it. Most people believe they must wait for conditions to change before they can shift their vibration. But it's the opposite. You will only access the new reality when you act, think, and feel as if you are already there. Understand that every desire you have is not an illusion or a random fantasy. It is a call to a higher frequency. You can only desire what already exists on some level, and your role is to rise to that level. But then you wonder, how do I begin if I don't even know where to start? Or worse, how can I believe this when my reality says otherwise? And this is the moment many give up because they want proof, guarantees, security before taking the first step. But let me tell you something I learned when I left the Toronto Fire Department. I had no security, no diploma, no business plan. I only had a vision. And even so, I acted as if I were already living the future I desired, as if success was inevitable. And it was. The moment I shifted my vibration, the world around me began to adjust. Opportunities appeared, connections formed, and ideas blossomed. Have you noticed that when you truly believe in something, everything starts to conspire in your favor? It's not coincidence, it's alignment. There is a point in the future where your life is exactly how you dream it. You can even visualize it now, maybe in a better home, financial peace, or doing what you love. This is not imagination, this is vision. It's your mind showing you a higher frequency and inviting you to rise. The biggest trap is that people look at that future and say, I don't know how to get there, and dismiss it. They think because they don't know the path, that future isn't possible. But you don't need to know how. You only need to accept that place exists and start vibrating at the same energy. Here's a practical tip. Pick a time each day to vividly visualize that future, not as an outsider, but from within, as if it's already happening. Feel the emotions as if real. See yourself living there, walking that space, talking to those people, experiencing comfort and security. Your brain cannot distinguish imagination from reality. When you repeat this, your nervous system adapts to this new state, creating new neural connections, changing your internal chemistry and altering the electromagnetic field your heart emits. And that's when everything begins to align. This is exactly what Oprah did when she was just a reporter, unknown to the world. She saw herself as a channel of transformation impacting millions. She believed, she felt it, she was already there before she arrived. When you do the same, vibrating daily on that new frequency, something changes. You no longer see yourself as a victim of the world, but as the creator, seeing opportunities where before there were only obstacles. But beware, maintaining this vibration is not easy when the outside world seems to contradict it. You may look at your bank statement and doubt yourself. You will hear those close to you say that your dreams are too big. You will feel a heavy weight on your chest, a fear that you are wasting your time. That is the moment you must remember. You are not here to repeat the past. You are here to build the future. To do that, you must live as if you have already arrived, even when there is no outside confirmation, because sooner or later you will look back and realize everything began the moment you decided to hold the vibration of your vision, even when nobody else believed in it. Not even yourself sometimes, but you did not give up. You tuned in, And finally you arrived. There is a voice inside your head that is working against you. It does not shout, it whispers. It appears in moments of doubt, big decisions, and when you feel the urge to change your life. That voice says, you cannot do this. You do not have money. This is not for you. What if it fails? This voice sounds like yours, but it is not. It is your paradigm. The paradigm is a set of beliefs, habits, and programs implanted in your mind since childhood. And the scariest part, it makes decisions for you. You think you are choosing, but you are not. Your paradigm is choosing for you. It is the true villain. It stops you from changing jobs. It sabotages you when you start making money and then lose it all. It makes you start new projects only to abandon them halfway. It convinces you to stay where you are, because better safe than sorry. And it is clever. It knows exactly how to persuade you by using your voice, your fears, and your most painful memories. How many times have you wanted to do something great, but immediately felt a strange sensation in your stomach? That mix of anxiety, fear, and confusion that freezes you? That is not a sign that you are wrong. It is your paradigm acting. It will do everything to keep you in the same place. Its function is to protect the familiar. It does not want you to change, even if your current life is full of pain, frustration, and scarcity. For your paradigm, that is safe, and it will fight tooth and nail to keep you there. I know exactly how it works, because I was dominated by it for many years. I remember when I decided to leave the fire department to start my first business. The idea seemed crazy. I had no experience. I had never studied management, but something inside me said, go. At the same time, the paradigm screamed, you will not succeed. This is not for you. It will fail. And believe me, everything started falling apart. Financial problems, people calling me irresponsible, sleepless nights. Inside, I was at war. But I understood what was happening. I was changing frequency. My old self was trying to pull me back. Most people back down at this point. They feel the discomfort and think it is a sign to stop. But in reality, it is a signal that you are freeing yourself. You need to understand that this internal chaos feeling is temporary. It will pass, but only if you keep going. And do you know what else? You do not need to eliminate the paradigm all at once. You need to start reprogramming it. How? Through repetition, through visualization, through action, even when afraid. Each time you act differently, even feeling discomfort, you weaken the old program and create a new one. It is like mental weightlifting. At first, it hurts, but over time, you gain strength. And there comes a moment when that voice inside you loses power. It may still try to scare you, but you no longer believe it. You start becoming greater than your excuses, greater than your fears, greater than your past. Want an interesting fact? Neuroscience research shows more than 90% of the decisions you make every day are automatic, guided by unconscious patterns. In other words, if you do not take control, your past will keep deciding your future, and that is exactly what the paradigm does. It keeps you living the same reality day after day, even if you say you want change. So next time that voice says you cannot, or it is impossible, when it's not the right moment, smile. Look at it and say, I know who you are, but I will no longer listen to you. Then take the next step. Even if you're scared, even if you doubt, because with each step forward, the old frequency weakens, and the new one begins to settle in. That is when the magic happens. When you glance back, you'll realize what seemed impossible was just your old mindset trying to deceive you. There's an invisible line between those who wish for something and those who truly achieve it. This line is called commitment. Most people never cross it. They live at its edge. They dream, plan, talk, research, but never truly decide. They never fully commit, and that's where everything falls apart. Have you noticed how easy it is to start something excitedly? But as soon as challenges arise, they give up. That is why so many people abandon their own dreams, because they were interested but not committed. And there's a huge difference between these two things. When you are interested, you do what is convenient. When you are committed, you do whatever it takes. I witnessed this with a good friend of mine, Milt Campbell. In 1952, he finished second in the Olympic decathlon. Standing on the podium with a silver medal on his chest, he made a decision. He said, "In 4 years, I will return to claim the gold." And see, he had no clue how he would do it. He had no money, no support, but he committed. He approached the American government and proposed a deal. If they sent him to a warm place with a good coach, he would join the military and compete for the United States. 4 years later, he returned and won gold medal because he didn't act like someone who might succeed. He acted like someone who had already won. And that is the secret. You must decide so strongly that the universe has no choice but to respond. But here's something nobody tells you. As soon as you commit to something big, problems will appear, and it's not bad luck. It's a test. You want a new level. You will face a new challenge. Doubt, pressure, criticism, fear. People close to you might say you're crazy. You may lose money, support, energy, but let me tell you something. The problem is not the problem. The problem is believing the problem is greater than your purpose. When I started my cleaning business, I had no idea what I was doing, but I decided. I told myself, this will work, no matter how, it will work. And when things got tough, and they did, I remembered that decision. I went back to that internal starting point and kept moving forward. And you know what's curious? The bigger your dream, the stronger the resistance, but also the greater the reward. Have you seen those people who change jobs every 2 months, start a project and soon jump to another? They never harvest anything because they never dig deep. They don't put down roots because they haven't understood that lasting results only come from deep commitment. Science confirms this. Studies from Stanford University show that people who set clear, consistent goals perform up to 50% better than those who only vaguely desire improvement. Because commitment changes how you act, think, and respond. It shifts your frequency, and when your frequency changes, your reality changes with it. So tell me something. Are you merely interested in changing your life, or are you willing to do whatever it takes? This question, honestly asked, can set you free. There's no perfect moment, ideal condition, or 100% favorable scenario. There is decision. And after it, everything changes. The world does not respect desire. It respects action. It respects those who rise every day, even without strength, even with fear, and say, I keep going because I committed. This is the energy that transforms. This is the vibration that attracts what you want. And if you're not seeing what you want out there, it's time to look inside and ask yourself, am I truly committed or just involved with the idea? Because when commitment is real, reality begins to bend itself around the decision you make. It all starts when you realize that the future is not somewhere out there. It resides deep within you. There is no magical better tomorrow that will simply fall from the sky. What truly exists is an internal choice to live, right now, in the emotional and vibrational state of the future you desire. Here lies one of the most powerful teachings I have ever applied in my life. You must begin to think from a place, not just about that place. This simple shift changes everything. Most people think about the future. They say, one day, I want to be wealthy. One day, I want peace. One day, I want to travel, help my family, live freely. But deep down, they keep thinking, feeling, and acting as if they live in lack, fear, and scarcity. They view their current reality and make it their reference point. But current reality is simply the result of past frequency. In other words, if you use the present as your foundation, you are doomed to repeat the past. When I understood this, everything changed. The key is to reverse the equation. You need to step into the future state as if it is already your present. It doesn't matter if there is no external proof yet. It doesn't matter if you don't know how everything will unfold. You must act like an actor who fully embodies a character, living it down to the smallest detail. William James called this the actor technique. I practiced it for years. When I started my cleaning business, still scrubbing floors and bathrooms in the early morning hours, I walked like a businessman. I saw myself as successful. I felt pride in what I was building, even before recognition or profit. I entered the frequency before the result appeared. That shaped the reality around me. Imagine waking up today knowing without a doubt that your future holds success, prosperity, and fulfillment. How would you behave today? What posture would you carry? With what energy would you walk through the streets? How would you respond to the day's challenges? This is the exercise because that vibration aligns you with the reality you want. Your subconscious does not comprehend tomorrow. It only understands the now. And now is the only place where creation happens. Behavioral psychology studies show the human brain is deeply influenced by mental simulations. When you feel a reality intensely, the brain begins to act as if it is already happening. It activates the same neurotransmitters, releases identical hormones, and forms new neural pathways. Your mind starts physiologically creating the future. But here's a warning. Your old self will try to pull you back. It will say, "This is pretending." It will remind you of bills, problems, and limitations. At that moment, you must choose. Believe the current reality or the vision of what you know you deserve. This is the battle. The choice between being a repeater of the past or becoming the conscious creator of your future. I want to propose something for you. For the next 3 days, pick a moment each day, morning or before sleeping, and practice this. Visualize the life you want. Step into it with all your senses. Feel it, speak it, move like someone already living that life. 5 minutes every day. Notice what begins to change inside you. Your frequency will rise, your mind will expand. The world will start responding, because you didn't come here to merely dream of possibilities. You came to manifest. Manifestation begins the moment you decide to think from inside your future, not just about it. If there's one thing you keep from this message, let it be this. Your external reality is a direct reflection of the frequency you choose to maintain internally. Nothing changes outside until something changes inside. You don't need more effort or perfect answers. You need a decision, a new internal state, to live, feel, and think as if you are already in the future you desire, even if everything around you says otherwise. Now that you understand this, it's time to take the next step. The next video appearing on your screen will help you climb another step in your evolution and guide you to become 1% better than you are right now. Thank you for walking with me so far. I'll see you in the next video. Let's keep growing together.